a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Hey, Dallas Mavericks, do me a favor and never associate my quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, with a performance like that. Woo! That was ugly last night.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
What does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
I don't even know how to rationalize this in my mind. Does that count as another L for Mahomes versus Brady? The fact that Tom Brady voiced the Boston Celtics finals preview, and then Patrick Mahomes. They got this guy up out of OTAs. He's busy with football. He's getting ready for the season, and the Dallas Mavericks distract him, pull him away from the team to give them a hype video, and then they roll out that kind of performance on the road in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. 107-89, the Celtics take the lead, the 1-0 series lead in these NBA Finals, and the finals that I am already regretting that we got this pairing. I'll talk about that and more. It's Theo Dorsey, baby. It's theoretically speaking. It's episode 42. C-Cats on the ones and twos. We're excited. It's a top 5 Friday. Today we're going to be ranking the top 5 sports trophies. Also today, we are going to have a Rate the Hate. Who doesn't love that?
Man, you corny.
Who doesn't love that? And on top of that, we've got the EDS air conditioning and plumbing coolest moment of the week, as well as we're taking you to the house with some Panthers versus Oilers predictions over the weekend. It is exciting. It is a fun Friday, a feel-good Friday, and we start with Game 1 of the NBA Finals from last night. C-Cat, how did you take this one, and where'd you watch Celtics Mavericks, which was over with about like a quarter and a half into it?
You know, I called in the favors. Girlfriend had a long day at work. She wanted to watch her telenovela, and I said, no, baby. It is NBA Finals Game 1.
Woo!
And then I got that 30-point butt whooping, making me look like a jackass. It was awful.
So did you make the vet move and turn off in the middle to kind of appease her? That way you buy yourself some time for the rest of this series?
When the Mavericks cut it to 8, they got me hook, line, and sinker, man. I thought maybe there's a chance. I don't want to miss history if they come back and win, so I watched it until the final buzzer.
Yep. And I as well. I actually watched it at the Duffy Sports Grill, the one on Clematis here in downtown West Palm Beach. It was a great environment. We had a table for 6, a nice high top, and of course the 2-for-1 drinks were flowing as the Celtics, well, they were going strong. The Celtics led by 29, like you said, at one point in the first half. The Mavericks would close it to 8, but Boston would cruise on to victory by 18 points, the third largest margin of victory in Game 1 of the NBA Finals of the past 3 decades, and it looked a lot like Jaylen Brown getting timely buckets, big-time steals, and making the Celtics look like one of the maybe one of the bigger favorites in NBA Finals in modern history.
Luka and Kyrie are both 3 for 9 to open the finals. They work it around the horn to Brown. His 3 is good. The 9th triple of the half for the Boston Celtics.
Jaylen Brown picking up right where he left off in the series, Eastern Conference Finals.
Brown the steal, Brown the flush. All Celtics in the first half of Game 1.
That call courtesy of ESPN on ABC. The NBA Finals Game 1, Jaylen Brown, 22 points, 3 steals, 3 blocks, 6 Celtics players in double figures, and it's time for a little overreaction. Not Monday. It's usually Overreaction Monday. Overreaction Friday following Game 1 of the NBA Finals. And the first thing I think, and we will be opening up the phone lines here on Theoretically Speaking for your Game 1 overreaction. My first overreaction to this one is, like we've seen all postseason long, Jayson Tatum's performance is irrelevant to the success of the Boston Celtics. Tatum in this game, 16 points. He was 6 for 16, and the most shocking, the most derailing, and I would think, I mean, personally, if I'm a Celtics fan and even if I'm a guy that just supports Tatum, the more demoralizing part of all of this was the fact that with 5 minutes left, when the Celtics led by 25, all of the starters are out. On the Mavericks, you got Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving on the bench. For the Celtics, their most pivotal players felt like all postseason long, including in the Eastern Conference Finals, and Jaylen Brown, who won the MVP of the last series, he's on the bench. Kristaps Porzingis, who we're going to get to, by the way, because he was electric in his first game back since April 29th. He's getting some rest. And who's still out there for the Boston Celtics chasing points and probably chasing what he would hope will be a Bill Russell MVP trophy of the finals? It was Jayson Tatum. He didn't get to the free throw line until literally about 4 minutes left in the game, and he split those because he finally started getting aggressive, finally started seeking out some shots and trying to get some points and buckets when it was almost over and done. It looked pathetic, and as a guy that is watching as a bystander, not a fan of the Celtics or the Mavericks, I was confused. And what it feels like to me is not only are the Celtics telling us that his performance, his availability doesn't impact the ability to win games down the stretch here in the finals, it's almost a reflection, too, on Tatum. What is the priority for you in these NBA finals if, again, I'm looking at your game log and you played 42 minutes in a game where the result was like only in doubt for maybe about 10? A little confusing on the side of the Boston Celtics. What's your game one overreaction? Mine is Tatum's performance is somewhat irrelevant to the success of the Boston Celtics. He wasn't anywhere near the leading scorer in this one. Kristaps Porzingis poured in 20 in just 21 minutes. Jaylen Brown led the way, and even Derek White had a good 15 points for that Celtics lineup that just has so many guys, so many players to throw at Kyrie and Luka to match them. The Boston Celtics now 5-0 in games where Jayson Tatum has shot below 40% in these playoffs. Again, some of that could be coincidence. Also, some of that is the fact that the Celtics just haven't really lost that much in these playoffs. But also watching it last night, it seemed like they have such a good core, such a good supporting cast that they can win and prevail even without their quote-unquote superstar playing good basketball. What's your game one of the NBA Finals overreaction? 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776 as the Boston Celtics take a 1-0 lead back to TD Garden, trying to take a commanding 2-0 lead in the NBA Finals against those Dallas Mavericks. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Your game one overreaction to the NBA Finals as Jayson Tatum's Boston Celtics go on to win this one. On the other side, Luka Doncic, 30 points, just 1 assist, and just 6 assist opportunities. The Dallas Mavericks, if they are going to win a game, they're going to need a better performance from him, and more specifically, his backcourt running mate, who all last series, we heard Stan Van Gundy professing at every opportunity about how this is the most skilled, most gifted, most talented backcourt in NBA history. And then we see what happens with Kyrie Irving. A lot of that was the biggest storyline coming into this one, Celtics Mavericks. Kyrie Irving's supposed to be that guy, C-Cat. Well, I was about halfway through my 2-for-1, my second 2-for-1 at Duffy Sports Grill last night. As we were watching it again, if you don't have a good place to watch these games right now, both in hockey and in the NBA, why not? I suggest to you Duffy Sports Grill. I'm sitting there at my six-seater high top table. I'm halfway into my second 2-for-1 drink, and one of my friends, it was funny when I was ordering my 2-for-1 drinks. I tell y'all all the time, it's 2-for-1 all day, every day, and it's any drink. I ordered the spicy margarita off the Duffy's MVP menu.
Good order.
My buddy was like, yo, I want a, whiskey Coke. But he was like, but I want the 2-for-1 special. And the waitress is like, dude, all drinks are 2-for-1.
Where do you think you are, dude?
He thought if he got the whiskey Coke, it would just be a solo and he'd have to pay for it twice. No, man. You don't have to wait on a happy hour at Duffy Sports Grill. Not only is there 80 TVs all over the place, so our high top, we can watch the game from here, from there. There were other games going on as well. But also, those 2-for-1 drinks, they keep on coming. And when I was about halfway done with the second one, I realized the game was about over with. And I was like, yo, How about some more starters? How about we get some more food on this table before we keep this party going, because the game isn't much entertainment. How about we get some good foods? And that's the great thing about Duffy's as well. Award-winning burgers, award-winning wings, and my favorite appetizer now, the starters on their menu. I used to go with the amazing mozzarella sticks. Now it's the firecracker shrimp. They can't miss. Especially as soon as they come out, they're very warm and they got like a sweet tang to them. Nice crunch. Firecracker shrimp. Might I add that to the list that you got to check out when you go to Duffy's Sports Grill. Duffy'sMVP.com. At Duffy's, our game is always on. The Celtics lead the Mavericks 1-0 in the NBA Finals. No matter how much you win by, it only counts for one win in that game. The Mavericks are going to look to respond. I always say in an NBA playoff series, it's not about game one. You don't judge a series off of game one. You judge the counterpunch in game two. So I'll be very curious to see how Jason Kidd and the Mavericks draw it up. And if they're going to find a way to beat the Celtics, they're going to have to find an answer for Kristaps Porzingis. I talked about him earlier, but we've got to give Kristaps Porzingis, our EDS, air conditioning and plumbing, coolest moment of the week, because he hadn't played basketball since April 29th, a right calf strain, and he was just what the doctor ordered for the Boston Celtics. Here he is for the EDS, air conditioning and plumbing, coolest moment of the week.
Time now for the coolest moment of the week, presented by EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. EDS is yes.
Internet problems.
Okay, we weren't able to play the sounder, but what I can tell you is Kristaps Porzingis in 21 minutes, he had 20 points, 18 of them in the first half, 6 rebounds and 3 blocks, and here it is. The sounds of Kristaps Porzingis getting that TD Garden crowd roaring as he made play after play after play, making this game out of reach.
Irving blocked by Porzingis. He's doing it all. Tatum gets past Irving, stripped and stolen by Irving. Here comes Josh Green, one man to beat, but it's a 7-footer. Who blocks it again?
Courtesy of the NBA on ESPN, actually on ABC, and that was Kristaps Porzingis just being a wrecking ball. I mean, when it came to rim defense as well as spacing the floor, he showed why he's such a pivotal part of that Celtics green machine. Well, we have a packed day, as I told you before, and when we come back here, we're ranking the top sports trophies. We're ranking sports trophies here. I mean, we got the Stanley Cup coming up right now, right? The Larry O'Brien, and of course, everybody loves the Lombardi. Where do they all stack on my top 5? I'll tell you next. It's a Top 5 Friday on Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Anajar and Levine